And without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce our first player here. Spawning at the top right, we got our blue Protoss playing for the team of Team NV. He is Korea's own Creator. And spawning here at the bottom left, we have our red Terran. He's representing the team of Shopify Rebellion. Put your hands together for Byun. Alright, so as I mentioned earlier, both of these players are long time. Well, basically they have been playing StarCraft 2 for quite some time, over a decade by now. And of course, this is going to be a best of 7 series. And we shall see which one of these players is going to take home the crown, as well as the bulk of the prize pool. Now, of course, as I mentioned, they have played the game for quite some time, and Creator, I love this story because Creator has played in the GSL for over 11 years and has never reached the finals of GSL Code S. And if you guys don't know or didn't keep up, he is our current finalist. Just the recent past GSL Code S finals that took place, I believe, last month. And, or was it earlier this month? I forgot when the exact date was, but anyhow, him and Rogue was featured in the finals. Unfortunately for Creator, though, was not able to quite pull it out. And so he became our runner-up. But congratulations to Rogue, who currently is now a 4-time GSL Code S champion, which ties Maru. And so the road to the elusive 5 GSL championship is on the table. But let's go ahead and focus on this game, as we do see a little bit of pressure coming out of Creator with this initial Zella and Adept. We'll only take down an SCV. But Creator does get some very important scouting information there, as he does see early Marauders. And it seems like Byun, knowing that this has been scouted out, will go ahead and start transitioning into something else. I think he was going for like a Marauder push with concussive shells, but after being scouted out with that early pressure, looks like he's going to go ahead and just transition to a different type of build. As he does go ahead and add in his factory and the starport as well. And of course, that early Marauder push, the kind of power of it, the oomph of it is the element of surprise. And once the element of surprise is gone, it's actually not too hard to defend against it. As a Protoss, you just throw down the shield battery at the natural, and for the most part, you should be fine. I mean, at the very most, maybe 2 shield battery, but for most instances, 1 shield battery is generally enough, especially with a shield battery overcharge. Looks like Byun is going to go ahead and go with this 3 Widow Mine drop. Looks like Creator does have eyes on it. We'll go ahead and respawn pretty timely. Doesn't quite lose too much. Oh, nice little cache there. And of course, that is the power of Blink. You can get on top of those those Widowmine medevacs. So that pretty much concludes the Widow Mine harassments, and doesn't quite get too much done with it. Only 2 probes. So all in all, 3 probes going down while 1 SCV is going down. Of course, we do have to include the medevacs, and the Widow Mines that did go down as well. But looks like Creator is going to go ahead and turn the table around, as he is going to go for a kind of a counter push or counter harass. Not too much stalkers here. It's only a handful. And he's got to be careful. His the bulk of his army are in those stalkers there. So if he loses a lot of stalkers, then Byun can definitely just go across the map with his Bioforce and overwhelm Creator. So he's got to be careful not to lose them. Alright, looks like Creator is going to go ahead and drop with these 4 stalkers just to harass a little bit here and there. Nice Warp Prism control there. I'm gonna go ahead and recall as the drop does go ahead and commence into the main base. This Immortal though, it's going to be really important. Can he save the Immortal? Oh, not quite. That Widow Mine, or sorry, that Warp Prism was just not quite on time to lift the Immortal into its shuttle bay. But all in all, a very kind of testy start, if I do say so myself, as both players are trying to do, you know, a little bit of harass here and there. Now, it's important to note that the dirt base of Creator has been established for quite some time, about to get saturated. And ooh, will we get a catch on this Warp Prism? Nope, not quite there. And we do have a little bit of a kind of almost a little bit of a base trade, as both players are kind of, their army is on the other side of the map. Does Creator have that? Has that recall ready? Okay, not quite. Not quite. Colossus is going to pop out just in the nick of time. We'll be able to help defend against this drop. Stalkers are making his way across back at home here. But I think Byun is going to go ahead and just fly on out before these Stalkers can get on top of these medevacs. So a little bit of annoying kind of annoying thing that Byun, his Creator has to deal with. Now with this Observer, he should be able to kind of keep his eye on that. Those are 3 medevacs. Now 2 of them are actually not quite full. Only 1 of them is mainly full. And here we go. Stalkers go. Oh, a little bit of a block there. Oh, wow. That's unfortunate for Creator. But he does finally get the blink underneath those medevacs and does clean out the majority of them. But looky here on the left side, we have another force. And of course, this is the power of Byun. This is one of Byun's strength, attacking at multiple places and multiple areas. We'll go ahead and force a cancel on that 4th Nexus, which is a nice pickoff. If he can kind of retreat with relatively little losses, that should be good news for Byun, especially since he's the one that is leading on the worker count. And if you combine the power of the Muse, of course, the economy does favor Byun quite evidently, as you can see, pointed on by that graph. Of course, these multiple harasses of Byun has really kind of forced Creator to kind of pull the probes there, you know, and kind of delay some of those mining time. And but you know what, Creator actually doing a really nice job delaying the mining time of Byun here, as he does forces the liftoff of the dirt base. And so we do see a huge swing actually for Creator, which is a really nice maneuver to kind of crawl himself back into the game. especially since he's still not quite remaking the probes. He is making 3 on the production, but not quite where he wants to be at this moment. But look at here, we do have the Dark Shrine, and of course, when you're behind, as they say, Dark Shrine, and he's currently behind on the work account, so might as well send some DTs, and maybe he can get some SCVs here and there, and kind of even it up. Looks like the attacks has slowed down for now, as both players are just building up their economy. I mean, Byun just reestablishing his 3rd base. He should get a 4th base pretty soon, I would imagine. While Creator is also going to go ahead and start saturating that important 4th base. Of course, you know, the 4th base is not just important for the minerals, but also for the gas. And you know, a lot of these tech-heavy Protoss army units, like the Colossus, like the Disruptors, and presumably he wants to start making some more Archons or High Templars. You know, they rely heavily on the gas, so if you can get that, you know, that 7th and 8th gas, quite helpful as you transition into the later stages of the game. And looks like Creator is gonna go ahead and feel confident enough to actually throw down a 5th Nexus. Of course, this kind of helps counteract the kind of delay the 4th Nexus earlier on, where he had to cancel the 4th. Alright, another huge skirmish here out in the near the watchtower area. Disruptor's not quite connecting on much of the infantry units here. It looks like Byun will get the kind of the better end of that trade just a bit, but not by a lot. I mean, the Colossus did go down, but it wasn't the hugest of things. And I think we have DT. Yeah, DT's attacking at the 3rd base of Byun. I was like wondering where those dead SCVs were coming from, but yeah, it looks like this DT is hacking away at a lot of SCVs. Unfortunately, that CC was not turned into a planetary, so of course this was the 3rd CC, so understandably most Terrans would make the 3rd CC as the orbital instead of the planetary. But here we go, Creator gonna go ahead and snipe this 4th command center. That's a huge pickoff, and he is gonna smartly back out. I mean, he doesn't really need to commit here. I think he has done enough damage to just play the long game. He should be fine. I mean, he is building up to a very, very scary kind of Protoss army ball of some sort. Looks like Byun is going to go for a little bit of a base trade, as he is going to go ahead and send the majority of his army to the main base of the Protoss. And here we go. And this is where DTs can be useful. I mean, right now there's only a handful of orbital commands with very low energy. One of the orbitals is floating up in the air, so not going to be able to utilize the energy. And that is it. Byun knows that he is going to tap out and Creator with a strong Game 1 victory. Alright, so heading into this matchup, I would say I would have given the edge to Creator, because it just seems like Creator has been getting a lot of good results. I mean, especially coming up 2nd in the recent GSL Code S tournament. Seems like he has a little bit more momentum here against someone like Byun. Now Byun, of course, you know, he the last major championship that he has won was back in 2021 in January, where he won the Chisadelphia Winter Edition. Of course, before that, he won the Aces Rog back in the fall of 2020. So, you know, after those 2 tournaments, it seems like Byun hasn't really fared or hasn't achieved any wins in major tournaments. He has gotten most of his wins in more of these smaller tournaments, like the weekly ESL Open Cups. He has been playing a lot of those and has picked up some wins along the way. But for the most part, Byun just I mean, he plays in a lot of tournaments, so you would expect him to win at least some of those smaller tournaments. On the other side, though, Critter, he's the question is, will he be able to keep up the momentum? I mean, it's one thing to reach the finals of a major tournament like GSL Code S. It's another thing to consistently compete in the finals, and so we shall keep an eye out to see how he does in this next season of Code S. But of course, before that happens, there is DreamHack Valencia that's currently ongoing. I don't recall if he's playing it though. I know there are a couple of Koreans that has qualified, but I did not take a look at the list of names currently. But anyhow, what's happening in this game? Looks like we have a little bit of a kind of a planned pressure, early pressure coming out of Creator. He does have that 3 gateways, making phoenixes. Did Creator? Oh no, sorry. Did Byun scout this? He did. Okay, so he knows that there are Stargate out in the map. All right, and here we go. Creator is going to go ahead and attack with this handful of forces. It's just going to be enough, though. I think with the auto turret, Byun should be fine, I would imagine. Now, once the Phoenixes join up with the crew, now how would that fare? He is going to go ahead and lift up the tank. However, it looks like the SCV pull will keep Byun safe for the meantime. So a very timely pull there of the SCVs. Now, will Critter continue with this push? I would imagine he should be able to just transition to a dirt base, because right now it just seems like I don't think he has quite enough to break this. I mean, there is the tanks, there's still the SCVs, but I don't know. This is going to be close. The tank is still alive, still being repaired, and oh, a nice tank shot there will clean up the majority of these stalkers. And I think it was a little bit of a mistake there. I think he should have just backed out. I could understand why he wanted to commit further. I mean, he didn't have the dirt nexus. He was like, maybe I can just do one more Phoenix lift and try to break Byun that way, but didn't quite have enough. And here we go, the sneaky and cheeky little win of mine. Alright, so all in all, a bit more mineral. Actually, twice as more mineral loss for Creator. Gas loss, kind of even or so. So yeah, it looks like Creator definitely had the worst end of that trade there. And now Byun looking for possible counterattack, or maybe he just wants to establish his third. Although I don't see a third CC coming, so looks like Byun is looking to put on some pressure, and I don't blame him. I mean, Creator lost a lot of units in the early game there, and he does not quite have a lot here to defend at the third. He does have an immortal, which should help out with that tank, but there's a lot of Marines. Stim on forward by Byun. Byun not even gonna look to siege up that siege tank. And that shield battery is gonna get sniped out immediately. And also the Immortal and Byun coming back with full force. Ties up the series 1-1. Now I am quite curious to see what build order Critter pulls out in this map, because the last map he pulled out the Stargate Phoenix build, and I would say that that would not be the worst build order to play on this map. I mean, I think this would be a pretty good map to just play Phoenix opening, but I wouldn't expect Creator to go for that 3-gate pressure along with it. I think he's just gonna play more of a kind of typical standard Stargate Phoenix opening in the the PBT matchup, where he just he doesn't go for the pressure, but instead go for a third Nexus, and then just kind of play macro from there, while the Phoenix is kind of harass and annoys Byun. Alright, will this probe place down the proxy or not? It looks like it's just going to go for scouting. Kind of the pathway in which that probe was going kind of made me wonder if he was going for kind of a proxy again. But not quite so. It looks like he doesn't... Creator wasn't able to get that vision on the factory, so... Not quite sure, he's pretty much in the blind here to start off this game. Looks like Creator going back into the Twilight, I would imagine, Blink Stalker build that he pulled off in the first game, where it was a successful game for him, as he did win it. Going back to his bread and butter, which is not a bad call. Oh, actually, never mind. Gonna change it up a little bit, throwing down that Twilight cancel, going for some DT action to start off this game. Now it's just for me personally. I don't quite find DT's opening against the Terran as effective. I mean, of course, it's definitely possible to get some nice damage done, but I don't know. Generally, I just don't feel like they do too much or enough damage, especially when the Terran player scouts it. I mean, in the early game against Zerg, there's really only the Spore Crawler to help defend and detect the DTs, but against a Terran, usually they have either scans, or they have Raven, or they have turrets. So a lot of options for a Terran player to kind of get detection. And then also in the Protoss, they have, of course, multiple options. You could go for the Oracle Revelation, or you could go for the Observer if you went for the Robo opening. But yeah, I mean, I guess we shall see how this DT opening does against Byun. I mean, currently he doesn't have any turrets, but he does have a Raven out, so at the very least he should have some sort of detection. Oh, sorry there, missed the Widowmine drop, but looks like the 9 probes did go down to that Widowmine drop, while 6 SCVs going down to these DTs. Now the DTs in the War Prism hasn't quite been taken out yet, so they can definitely come back right in to do more damage, more economic damage. Oh, actually, gonna turn that into Archon. Will he warp in 2 more DTs to warp another Archon? Or will he just stick with 1? Okay, looks like he's just gonna join up with an Adept. Okay. Alright, let's take a look here. 20 pros, my goodness. Those Water Mines just doing so much damage. Alright, looks like that will add into a total of 22 probes. So, whew, that is tough. Creator is going to be in a quite deep of a hole there to start off this game. Now, again, he still has that DT option with the Warp Prism, but I think right now, Byun getting some anti-DT defensive structures like the terrace, the bunker, got the majority of his army into the main base, and Creator looking to put on an attack here to get something at least to try to get himself back into this game. But meanwhile, there is going to be a Raven harass into the main base. It's going to be so annoying because, again, the all the army is across the map preparing for an attack. But I don't know, this just from the look of it, the bird's eye view, it just doesn't look like a really scary army. I mean, Byun has that 49 army supply lead against the 40 of Creator, so even the supply is in favor. The army supply is in favor of Byun here, and of course that bunker and those 2 tanks. I just don't quite see Creator breaking this fortification here at the natural of Byun. He might Creator might want to go ahead and try to harass the main base, but you know he can't because they're Viking. So, you know, if he's going to commit to it, he's going to have to prepare to lose that Warp Prism if he wants to drop into the main base. And Byun, he's doing the smart thing. He knows that he has a really kind of good defensive setup. And, oh, actually, he might get cut off in the middle. Oh, a nice little flank sandwich here. Byun is going to go ahead and try to move towards the right side. But, oh, that's a great pick off from Creator. A nice start. And all of a sudden, I don't know, Byun gonna be in a little bit of trouble. If he does not get too much damage done with this drop, then, you know, Creator, I would say, has given himself a chance here. But yeah, there's nothing here at the at the natural, as Creator is gonna put all his investment into this to breaking Byun's natural. SCV is being pulled here. Interference matrix going down on that Warp Prism, so not a lot of juggling, but it looks like it will go ahead and expire. Meanwhile, the the battle force of Byun is going to make its way into the main base. Now there is still that DT shrine. You can maybe warp in some DTs to help defend and clean this up, but I think Byun is more worried here at his main base. And yeah, Creator is not going to be able to break Byun. And we'll go ahead and tap out now. Byun making that 2 wins in a row to go up 2-1. Now, of course, speaking of Team Envy, it, of course, used to be the team of players like Maru and Crank, along with, of course, the Creator. But you know, they did let go of Maru and Crank. So it seems like Creator has, especially with his improvement over the past maybe couple of months or so, seems like Creator is now the man. I mean, it used to be Maru for sure, but yeah, I think now we can kind of say Creator is kind of the face of that team right now. course, as for Maru, he has kind of went over to the Onside Gaming team, a new team. Never heard of them, but yeah, you know, once they let go, once Team NV let go of Maru, I was actually really curious to see what team he was going to go for. I didn't think he was going to go for Dragon Phoenix Gaming because Dragon Phoenix Gaming already had a load of really great players. I was like, you would really have to stretch the salary budget there if you want to sign Maru, because I mean, Maru, he's a legend, of course. Arguably, you know, the one of the best players. Oh, actually, you know, without a doubt, one of the best players we have playing in StarCraft 2. I mean, right now he is sitting at the third spot. He is currently the third highest career earner in StarCraft 2 history, behind Rogue and Cero. And of course, with those 4 GSL championships, I mean, it's kind of hard to argue that he's definitely one of the best players around. So, I mean, you would imagine he would come with a hefty price if you were to sign him. So, yeah, I was not expecting Dragon Phoenix Gaming to sign him. I was wondering if maybe a foreign team like Team Liquid or maybe Shopify Rebellion would sign him, but it turns out he signed up with a kind of relatively, you know, unknown, basically a new team in Onside Gaming. So kind of caught me a little bit, was a bit surprising, I would say, at the release. But we'll see how he does in this upcoming year. Alright, in the meantime, looks like Creator will go ahead and just scout around, see what's up here. In the meantime, Widowmine drop. Oh, actually gets a nice surround. Does get one of the Widowmines there with the probes. And so far, Creator doing a really nice job throughout this, not just this game, but this whole series in dealing with the Widowmines. With the only exception in that last game where he lost like 22 probes. But besides that, you know, in the past couple of times where he has been Widowmine dropped, I feel like he has dealt with it relatively well. Kind of a story of two sides, where, of course, in the last game he lost like a bunch of probes to Widowmines, and then this game relatively little. So, off to a good start. And it's really important for Creator, especially Creator, to get a good start, because I feel like he's one of those players that kind of wear his heart on the sleeve. He gets really down on himself whenever he's like, he messes up a play really badly, or when he's down in the series. He's just kind of like, you know, becomes really sad and disappointed in himself, and kind of quite hard on himself, and it makes it difficult for him to kind of make a comeback whenever he is down in the series because of that. So usually, you know, Creator, you know, a player like Creator wants to get into a really good start. On the other side, though, we have like the opposite for Byun, because it seems like whenever Byun goes down in the series, he gets stronger. He becomes scarier, sometimes even crazier, pulling off crazy plays. So kind of two different opposite mentalities for, you know, comparing Byun to Creator. Alright, looks like 1-1 is finishing up for Creator just in the nick of time before this attack of Byun commences. However, where is his army? A lot of his army is between his main and his natural. Unfortunately, the attack is coming to the third base, so might want to start moving his army. Okay, there we go. He does split it up a little bit. Alright, nice little interference matrix on that Warp Prism once again, and that is going to force Creator to actually sack this Nexus. Oh boy. That is not good news for Creator, as Byun, he's got his CC up, or starting up right now. So his CC, his dirt base, is going to be quicker than the Protoss, and that's not usually how it works. I mean, sometimes, or for the most part, you know, the Protoss wants to have his bases quicker than the Terran. And here we go. He looks like Creator is trying to set up a little bit of a split here, but he doesn't quite have enough army to like push in. I think he's waiting for Thermal Lance, and also he's waiting for some additional units to pop out. Oh no, he's supply blocked, and this Robo is going to get sniped out. No more Colossus for our Protoss. This is really bad, and oh my goodness, interference matrix on that Colossus. The War Prism gets sniped as well. This is just getting worse and worse for our blue Protoss. Oh my goodness, another flank there. We'll take out a Colossus, and I just don't quite see Byun losing this game, as he will take a commanding 3-1 lead. My goodness, that got really bad real quick for Creator. Here we go. Spawning at the bottom right, we got our blue Protoss looking to make an amazing comeback. He's gonna need your support, guys. Give it up for Creator. And spawned here at the bottom left, we got this man, this red Terran player, red hot I would say, in the commanding lead, looking to close out the series. Can he do it, guys? It is Byun. Oh, just so close, but yet so far. Looks like Creator will not be able to scout this proxy positioning. But at the very least, he should suspect the proxy, because he doesn't see a barracks back at home. Does see two gases, so he knows that there is some level of commitment, in which it does not result in Byun taking a quicker second CC. And I love that Byun hiding his SCVs to make sure that doesn't get scouted. Okay, looks like the pro will see the barracks finally. Alright, factory on the way. So it looks like we might get another Widowmine drop. Kind of debatable to say whether these Widowmine drops has been successful. Beside that third game, of course. But you know what? Byun, he loves his Widowmine drops. And unfortunately, his probe is a little bit lazy. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, there we go. He does finally realize it. I was like, oh man, you don't want having some idle probes, but looks like he was maybe that was calculated, as that second Nexus was done, and of course the main base is fully what's the word again? Basically he has 16 probes. Wow, I'm having a brain fart right now. Okay, fully saturated. There we go. Saturated, that was the key word. Alright. Looks like we have a little bit of a Tom and Jerry cat and mouse chase here with this Adept and this Reaper. Reaper will go ahead and flee to safety, while this Adept here will get some nice, decent scouting. But looks like he won't get too much scouting. I think the CC might be a bit further away. Okay, never mind. I think he will be able to see that. Alright, looks like the final Reapers will get killed here. So this is going to be the gist of Byun's scouting information for the next, at least the next couple of minutes. And I don't think he did see the, yeah, he did not see the Stargate, so he does not know that there is a Phoenix on the way. All he does know is that that Creator did open up with a lot of Adepts. At the very least, he saw, I think, 3 Adepts while his Reaper was kind of scouting around, so he should have an idea that, okay, that is a little bit unusual. You're investing in 3 Adepts, that means you're not investing into those Stalkers, which means that gas is being invested into something. It could be Stargate tech, or it could be DTs, it could be a variety of things. So I mean, you know, he's got to, you know, kind of guess a little bit of what Creator is going for. But you know what? Looks like Byun, being Byun, not gonna even bother trying to play defensive. He is gonna go ahead and attack. Meanwhile, Adept will go ahead and shade into the natural. And now Byun is knocking on the front door. What do we have here for our blue Protoss? 1 Immortal, 3 Phoenixes. Not a lot. He does at least have the shield battery, which will help out. And here we go. Oh, actually lifting off the wrong unit there initially. But at the very least did get the tank, the first tank. But another tank will join up with his boys. And Marine's going to go ahead and snipe the Phoenixes. But oh my goodness, the shield battery. Oh, actually, you know what? The shield battery getting targeted. But I think Byun might have stemmed a bit too much. But you know what? The rest of the ground forces has disappeared. These Phoenixes has no more energy left. Now probes are being pulled. Oh man, this is not what you want. As the blue Protoss Creator is probably sinking in his chair. As once again, another timing attack will break him. I mean, even if Creator does clean up this army here of Byun, I mean, the damage has been done. 13 probes going down. And also the Immortals, also the Phoenixes. Only 2 Phoenixes, but you know what? Got 7 Zealot there as well. So a great trade, a very efficient trade by Byun. And now he is sitting pretty. He is going to go ahead and start making his third. I wouldn't be, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he just threw down the 4th. You know, just get the 4th at the gold base. You know, just get even more ahead. And I'm expecting another timing attack from Byun. I mean, he's got his concussor shells on the way. And I mean, his +1 is just finished. So I mean, maybe he can get +2 and then wait for +2 to finish before attacking, or he just go right now. There's not a lot of units here for Creator, only 1 Colossus, so wouldn't be the worst time to attack. I mean, the +1 not done yet for Creator right now. So there is a little bit of window where Byun is going to be on +1 compared to Creator, which will be on +0. And also no thermal lance on the Colossus. So it looks like Byun is going to play it safe, more safely, more passively. Gonna get the Ghost Academy to kind of prepare for the next stage of this game. And I think with the scan, he is looking to maybe push. Still got to be careful. That is a lot of Phoenixes. And ooh, looks like Creator will catch a Byun unsieged here. However, with only 2 Colossus, these Marauders are just going to stimp right in front of them, take them out, and there we have it, guys. We have a 4-1 victory for Byun. Congrats to Byun. He will be our champion of our Alpha Pro Series.